Project Management Professional Training Session 17 Part 2. Chapter 5. Study Checkpoint 5.1. Q1. Using your knowledge of enterprise environmental factors and the planned schedule management process, make a list of EEFs that would influence this process. Q2. Using your knowledge of organizational project assets and the planned schedule management process, make a list of OPAs that would influence this process. Answer. A1. EEFs, organizational structure and culture, available resources and skills, commercial database, standard estimate data, scheduling software tools, and organization standards or guidelines for tailoring the standard schedule-related processes. A2. OPAs, schedule-related organizational policies, procedures, forms and templates, monitoring and reporting tools, and lessons learned database from previous projects. Study Checkpoint 5.2. Q1. What is the most common logical relationship used in the schedule network diagrams? Q2. What is the least common logical relationship used in the schedule network diagrams? Q3. Make a list of EEFs and OPAs that could influence the process of scheduling activities. Answer. A1. Finish to start, i.e., the successor activity cannot be started until the predecessor activity has already been completed. A2. Start to finish, i.e., the successor activity cannot be completed until the predecessor activity has already been initiated. A3. EEFs, Government and Industry Standards, Organizations Work Authorization System, Project Management Information System, PMIS, OPAs, Related Program and Portfolio Plans, Activity-Related Organizational Policies, Procedures, and Templates, etc., and Lessons Learned Database from Previous Projects. Study Checkpoint 5.3. 1. Q1. Describe which EEFs can influence the process of estimating activity durations. 2. Q2. Describe which OPAs can influence the process of estimating activity durations. Answer. A1. EEFs, examples of enterprise environmental factors are some databases that contain reference data relevant to the activity duration, for instance, how long it takes for a specific government agency to respond to a request. Published commercial information and metrics to measure productivity can also be helpful in duration estimates. The location of team members may also matter, e.g., due to different local conditions or systems. A2. OPAs, organizational process assets that may influence this process include estimating policies, and those that are useful in estimating activity duration include information from previous projects and a calendar of working days and non-working days. Study Checkpoint 5.4. In the Program Evaluation and Review Technique, PERT, the most likely scenario is given a weight of 4 as compared to the weight of 1 for each of the pessimistic and optimistic scenarios. The pessimistic estimate for an activity is 20 days, the optimistic estimate is 10 days, and most likely estimate is 15 days. Calculate the expected estimate using the PERT technique. Answer. TE equals NTM plus to plus TP /N plus 2 equals for X15 plus 10 plus 20 /4 plus 2 equals 96 equals 15 days. Study Checkpoint 5.5. Q1. Describe how assumptions and constraints, e.g., in the project scope statement, can affect the schedule, as well as what you can do about it. Q2. List EEFs and OPAs that can influence the process of schedule development. Answers. A1. The assumptions and constraints in the project scope statement can affect the project schedule and therefore must be considered in developing the schedule. The following two types of time and hence schedule-related constraints should get special attention. Hard deadlines on start and finish dates. Some activities might have constraints on their start or finish dates. For example, there might be a situation in which an activity cannot be started before a certain date, or must be finished before a certain date, or both. Where do these date constraints come from? They can come from various sources, such as a date in the contract, a date determined by the market window, delivery of material from an external vendor, and the like. Time constraints on deliverables. These constraints can come from the customer, the sponsor, or any other stakeholder in terms of deadlines for certain major deliverables or milestones. Other projects inside or outside your organization might be depending on these constraints. So, once scheduled, these deadlines are constraints and can only be changed through the approval process. Both assumptions and constraints lead to schedule risk that can be mitigated by applying a contingency reserve in the schedule. A2. EEFs, communication channel e.g., emails and videos, conferences, scheduling software, and government and industry standards. OPAs, organizational scheduling methodology or any other schedule-related policies and procedures, project calendars, and schedule-related information from previous projects, and a calendar of working days and non-working days. Study Checkpoint 5.6. Laura Nirvana is the project manager for Sequence DNA of a Buffalo, SDB, project. Match each item in the first column of the following table to the correct item in the second column. Output of the Develop Schedule. Process. Description. A. Schedule Data 1. A bar chart that includes all the activities of the project. And also milestones. Laura points this bar chart out to the project sponsor to show where they are in the execution of the project. B. Project. Document. Updates. 2. A bar chart hanging on the calendar that has never changed since it was approved. Laura compares the current bar chart with this bar chart to show the progress. See Schedule 3. On a bar chart, Laura points to the dates on which she will have the DNA sample isolated and purified, when she will get the DNA sample run through the genetic analyzer, when she will receive the results from the analyzer, and when the results will be published on the internet. D. Schedule. Baseline. 4. After realizing that their chosen vendor has a track record of sending the DNA analysis kits late, Laura writes something into Chapter 6. Study Checkpoint 6.1. Use your knowledge of the plan resource management process to answer the following questions. Q1. List some EEFs that can influence the process of plan resource management. Q2. List some OPAs that can influence the process of plan resource management. Q3. How can the assumptions log and risk register project documents be updated as a result of this process? Answers. A1. EEFs, organizational culture and structure, team and physical resources available within organization, locations of available resources and facilities, and market conditions, e.g., job market to hire the talent and physical resources. A2. OPAs, organizational human and physical resources, policies and procedures, safety and security policies, template that can be used for resource management planning, and lessons learned and other historical information regarding resource management planning. A3. The assumptions log will be updated with changed and new assumptions regarding team and physical resources, e.g., locations, availability, and requirements. The risk register can be updated with known risks about team and physical resources. Study Checkpoint 6.2. Problem. An activity cost estimate goes like this. It will take 20 hours for a programmer to write this program. The average rate at which to hire a programmer is $50 per hour. Therefore, the cost of writing this program, assuming that everything else needed to write the program, such as a computer, is in place, is 20x $50 equals $1,000. What kind of estimation technique is at work here? Answer. Parametric estimation. Study Checkpoint 6.3. The pessimistic cost estimate for an activity is $5,000, the optimistic estimate is $3,000, and most likely estimate is $4,000. Calculate the expected estimate by using the PERT technique, where the most likely scenario is given a weight of 4 as compared to the weight of 1 for each of the pessimistic and optimistic scenarios. Answer. SU equals NCM plus CO plus CP / N plus 2 equals 4 times 4,000 plus 3,000 plus 5,000 / 4 plus 2 equals 24,000 divided by 6 is equal to 4,000. Expected cost estimate equals $4,000. Study Checkpoint 6.4. Rajinder, the project manager, is now working on procurement planning for a portion of the project. She is looking at the following options for procuring different pieces. Match each consideration in the first column with the corresponding contract type in the second column of the following table. Consideration contract type. A. Rajinder will pay $3,000 for the use of a facility and $5,000 per month for the employees working on the procured piece for the duration of work. However, there is a cap of $50,000 for the maximum cost. 1. Fixed price, FP. B. Rajinder will pay for the labor of the cost and a lump sum of $5,000. 2. Time and material, TNM. C. Rajinder will pay $50,000 to maintain the Website for the project for 2 years. 3. Cost plus fixed fee, CPFF. D. She will provide $10,000 for developing a software program and an extra $1,000 if less than 10 bugs are discovered in the program in the first year of its use. 4. Cost plus percentage of cost, CPPC. E. She will pay the labor cost each month plus 5% of this cost as coffee and snacks at work and for recognition and rewards for the labor. 5. Cost plus incentive fee, CPIF. Answers: A. 2, B. 3, C. 1, D. 5, E. 4. Study checkpoint 6.5. In the following table, match each item in first column to one or more items in the second column. Document, include or discuss. 1. Procurement management plan. 2. Procurement strategy. 3. Statement of work, SOW. 4. Bid documents. 1. Request for information, RFI. 2. Delivery methods. 3. Request for quotation, RFQ. 4. Integrating procurement with project work. 5. Performance data. 6. Request for proposal, RFP. 7. Stakeholders' procurement responsibilities. 8. Procurement phase management. 9. Key procurement activities. 10. Contract payment types. 11. Performance period. 12. Work location. Answer: A. 4, 7, 9. B. 2, 8, 10. C. 5, 11, 12. D. 1, 3, 6. Chapter 7. Study checkpoint 7.1. You are trying out a Monte Carlo simulation program that estimates the value of a parameter by using some random variables. You know through the data that the exact value should be 40. You ran the program 3 times, and it gave you 3 values, 50, 51, and 52. Based on these values, answer the following questions. Q1. How precise is the program in making the estimates? Q2. How accurate are the estimates? Q3. Are the values generated by the program more accurate or more precise? Answers: A1. The program is quite precise because the values 50, 51, and 52 are very close to each other. Average value equals 51. Percent uncertainty equals 52 to 50/51 times 100% equals 3.9%. A2. The estimates are far away from the true value, and therefore accuracy is not very good. Average percent deviation equals 51 to 40/40 times 100 equals 27.5%. A3. Comparing the errors in questions 1 and 2, the results are more precise and less accurate. Study checkpoint 7.2. Knowing the plan quality management process, answer the following. Q1. Describe which EEFs can influence this process. Q2. Describe which OPA can influence this process. Q3. Describe how the documents listed in the output column of Table 7.2 will be updated. Answers: as you are planning to communicate with project stakeholders, the EEFs and OPAs that influence this process are very similar to those that influence the plan stakeholder engagement process. A1. EEFS, examples of enterprise environmental factors that will influence this process include organizational structure, government agencies' regulations, rules, guidelines, and standards of the project's application area, geographical distribution of facilities and resources, inside and outside culture, market conditions, working and operational conditions of project and its deliverables. A2. OPAs include the organizational quality management system, including policies, procedures, guidelines, quality templates, including traceability matrix and check sheets, and quality-related lessons learned from historical database. A3. The risk management plan may need to be updated because the quality management approach might cause changes in the approach to risk management. The addition of quality requirements to the WBS dictionary will change the project scope baseline, and the addition of quality requirements will also update the requirements traceability matrix. As usual, the lessons learned register is updated with lessons learned, in this case, lessons related to quality planning, to be used in the next process run. New risks discovered will update the risk register. The stakeholder register is updated with new Information found during this process about new and existing stakeholders. Study checkpoint 7.3. Knowing the identify risks process, make lists of some EEFs and OPAs that can influence this process. Answers. EEFs, the environmental factors internal or external to the performing organization that can influence the project must be considered in the risk identification process. This might include academic and industry studies, published information, benchmarking, and commercial databases. OPAs, this might include risk-related information from previous projects, the knowledge base, including lessons learned, process controls, and risk-related templates and checklists. Study checkpoint 7.4. Perform the EMV analysis of the decision tree presented in Figure 7.5 to make a decision on which option to take. Answer. Option initial cost risk, cost probability EMV for risk, cost total cost. Update $50,000 $200,000 40% 0.40 times $200,000 equals $80,000. $50,000 plus $80,000 equals $130,000. Build from scratch. $70,000 $200,000 10% 0.10 times $200,000 equals $20,000. $70,000 plus $20,000 equals $90,000. So, building from scratch is a better option because total cost is less. Study checkpoint 7.5. You are the project manager of a movie shooting project. The first column lists some actions you are taking to deal with risks. Match each item in the first column with one item in the second column of this table. Action risk response type. A. One of the scenes is to be shot in a country that has enormous bureaucracy and red tape. They possibly can create roadblocks and make it difficult for you. There is nothing much you can plan about it. 1. Avoid. B. The jungle where you are going to shoot a few scenes is a wetland and very hot and humid, and the probability of damage happening to the equipment is very high. So, you have decided to buy insurance to protect you against this possible damage. 2. Accept. C. You have learned that during a certain time of the year, the locals come to hunt in the jungle in big numbers. So, you have decided not to do the shoot during that part of the year. 3. Exploit. D. Although the movie does not depend on it, it will add a lot of marketing value to the movie if your cameras could capture an endangered species of birds that live in the jungle. You are choosing the time of the year for shooting and taking some other actions to increase the probability that the birds will show up. 4. Share. Action risk response type. E. The movie has something to do with Thanksgiving Day. You have put in some extra resources to ensure that the movie is completed in a timely manner for a release on Thanksgiving Day. 5. Mitigate. F. You have learned that there could be mosquitoes in the area in which you are going to shoot. So, you have planned to take plenty of mosquito repellent and other products to prevent mosquito bites. 6. Enhance. G. You know another movie team that's going to shoot some scenes in the same jungle during a different time of the year. You have signed a contract with them to share or trade the shots of the endangered bird species. 7. Transfer. Answers. A. 2. B. 7. C. 1. D. 6. E. 3. F. 5. G. 4.